My ex murdered someone and get away with it. Warning, some audiences may find this content disturbing. View at your own discretion. Welcome to the House of Reddit. Today, we share some recent r/confessions posted on Reddit. My ex murdered someone and get away with it. So I dated this girl a few years back. Definitely a free-spirited wild child type of girl. Total life of the party. I slowly learned that she had a huge drug problem, and had some serious mental issues, not to be stereotypical and say bitches be crazy, but this one almost purposely crashed my car into a pole for fun. Just super unconventional, which I found to be endearing at first, but quickly learned it was not cute, and not an act. She was 302'd and 5,150'd numerous times. Very quickly I learned she was a practicing Satanist and performed blood rituals and believed it down to the core, saying Lucifer would show her visions in her dreams, and even went as far as saying Lucifer bones her in her sleep. That's a whole other story, but just to give you an idea of the flavor here as this will come back up later. Anyway, when we first got together it was obvious she was still into her ex. But things were going really well with that new relationship feeling. She claimed he was abusive both physically and mentally and I believed her. But I came to learn soon after that this abuse went both ways. This dude would just call my phone repeatedly and send me hateful letters and try to coincidentally be at the same bars we happened to be at. I tried to ignore as best as I could at first, and eventually started playing into it. Obviously he wanted to be in her life, and she wanted him in hers, even if it was negative. She went as far as getting a PFA against him. That would not last long. Anyway, fast forward to us breaking up, which was very messy. A few days later she was back with the ex and that was the last I heard from them. I wrote it off that they were just shitty people and deserved each other's shittiness. I washed my hands of it and moved on. A few weeks later she reaches out to me complaining that the boyfriend is abusing her again. I don't get involved because I'm pretty much done at this point. And then it comes out that the boyfriend committed suicide by stabbing himself in the stomach. Now this guy was a total asshole, grimy, and just as crazy as the girl, but I honestly believe the dude would never do something like that. The dude had access to pretty much whatever pills he wanted. Why not take a bottle of pills and do it the easy way? After this all came out the girl was getting sympathy and it just kind of went away. A few years later, after not really thinking about it for a long time, I suddenly get this nagging feeling about it. Something that I just can't shake no matter what. I think back to her knife collection, even knives that I bought her for her rituals and whatnot, and it starts to dawn on me that this bitch may have killed the dude and chalked it as a suicide. The knife that he killed himself with? The knife that I bought her for Christmas. Obviously these claims can be considered unfounded since it was officially ruled a suicide, and I have no evidence to prove this, but damn does this keep me up at night. I could be 100,000% wrong, but I just can't shake it. Feels good to say it out loud though. I feel embarrassed for being sexy. I love my husband so much. He is my beautiful man and my lover. He's wonderful. The two of us have a mutual problem. He is addicted to porn. He doesn't find me that attractive. He likes other girls more than me. This has ruined our sex and ruined my self-image. 6 months ago, I started looking at other women's bodies and comparing myself to them. I actually started to watch porn, because I wanted to see what my husband liked. I looked up the same stuff he did and watched how I looked nothing like those women. I am pretty and I have a cups and I have a cute little butt. Apparently that wasn't good enough for him. He had been checking out other girls and using dating websites. He had been flirting with my friends and trying to get girls to like him. I was devastated. Anyways, I digress. I began noticing women at the store and stuff. Now I'm paranoid and I always watch him when we go out to see if he is ogling other women. He has learned to do it only when I can't see, so sometimes he thinks I'm not looking and I turn around and see him doing it. I kind of started to like the girls he liked and now I have lesbian feelings. I'm not gay, and nor will I ever be gay. I'm a Christian and I strongly believe that what you do with your feelings is a choice. I will stay with my husband whom I love. But he is literally turning me gay with how much he has hurt me. I don't understand. He gipped me. He said he loved me and thought I was beautiful. He said I was the most beautiful woman in the world a couple of times and cried cause I was so pretty. Sounds stupid, but it was a very emotional moment and it was perfect. Why he doesn't like me anymore. I keep asking him for sex, but we've both been working long days and he is always tired. We used to have sex every day and now it's like, maybe once or twice a week and I have to push for it. I give him a blowjob about every other day. He just lays there and closes his eyes and thinks about other women. Fuck him. He doesn't want me. I'm so upset. I just want him to like me. So fucking pissed off. Why can't he love my body? I'm healthy and young and pretty. I don't understand. He was supposed to love me. Here I am trying to masturbate and think of him, but I can't do it. There is nothing to think about. Anything I imagine involves me trying to be sexy, and it feels so fake and stupid. I actually even kind of masturbated and thought of him with a woman with bigger boobs. That was hotter than me having sex with him. That is wrong, I know. If I caught him with someone else, I would leave him immediately. I don't like the idea of it at all, but at least he liked the sex with the made-up woman in my head. I have lost my confidence. My two options are, keep wanting him and loving him and keep getting disappointed and hurt, or stop wanting him so much and find some other way to satisfy myself. He won't change. I have been trying to help him and been waiting on him. I understand if he is addicted to porn. That's extremely hard to recover from. I don't understand him marrying me and then 2 months later, deciding that I'm ugly and that our sex is awful. I can tell when he is watching porn by how good our sex is. Right now, our sex sucks, so he must be watching it heavily. I hate this stuff. I am so pissed off at him. All of my love is turning to bitterness. He breaks my heart every day. I literally begged him for sex 2 days ago and he said he was too depressed. I gave him a blowjob, though. I knew that if I didn't finish him, he would be more tempted to watch porn. Honestly, he probably did anyways. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of all of this. I don't want this. I just keep loving people and I keep getting hurt. My baby's gone and my husband doesn't like me and my parents and I have such distant relationships. I have very few friends and I don't know how to have a good relationship of any kind. I'm so cold, but I love people so much. No one can ever replace my husband. He's the one I want. It hurts so much that I'm becoming disinterested in him. He's a liar and I'm pretty sure he has cheated on me. He thinks about other women every time we have sex. He imagines he's having sex with them. I just want my husband back. I passed a note with a mean comment about a classmate who was bullied. I've never wanted to be a mean person. My mom always taught me growing up that it was always important to be kind to others. You never know their struggles. Growing up, I had no problem making friends. I didn't try and ever cause problems with anyone. I never wanted to cause conflict. But I will never forget the time that I was a bully. It was 7th grade, the class was English. Our teacher was pairing us up for a group activity. There was a girl in the class that my lesser classmates of grade 7, in a small town school, called IT. Let's call her H. I always referred to her by name and didn't allow the IT talk around my ears. I also happened to volunteer to partner up with H. As most groups were starting to fill and it looked like she needed a partner. Another mutual girl classmate was grouped up with us. H was bullied. Not just by those who called her a thing instead of a person. She didn't have great body odor. She had poor support systems and didn't have the same opportunities as everyone else. At this point I've known her for at least 2 years. When I started this middle school, I saw that she struggled. I was nice to her and talked to her to let her know someone was thinking of her. But this day in English I made a poor decision to be mean and a secret bully. After the 3 of us split up, I got a note passed from the second girl in the group. I can't remember if it was a doodle or just a mean comment about H. It was indicating how bad she smelled. Here I could have made a decision. I could have ripped up the note, stood from my desk and threw it away. Then I wouldn't be thinking of it nearly 10 years later. Instead, I chose to add to this note. As I was attempting to make a return on the note, the teacher, one of my favorites from memory, for the record, intervened. He saw the note passing happen and plucked it up. I remember the drop feeling in my gut. Several things raced through my mind. I thought about how I instantly felt wrong. The options I could have had before. Instead, he'd see that we were participating in bullying. I didn't know what anxiety was. I felt it then. I remember getting through the rest of my classes for the day and wanting to own up to the crime. Nothing had happened thus far and I didn't want to wait to see the disappointment the next day. After my last class, I headed to the English classroom. The conversation, loosely, went like this. "Me? Hi, mister? I just wanted to come and apologize ahead of time for passing notes in class. What I did was inappropriate and it won't happen again. English teacher, thank you for coming in. I didn't read the note. I don't need to read your privacy, I just don't need to see it in my class. Oh, and, you and, other girl, were great working with H today. Thanks for offering to pair up with her so quickly." Me, of course, I am sorry again. My heart drops again and quickly flops. Was I not the biggest a-hole? I won't forget the sick feel of relief and guilt I felt when I left the door of the classroom. I bullied someone back in elementary and I regret my decision. Although it may not seem like a big deal, I still think about it and I need to get it off my chest. I used to know someone back in 4th grade, who I'll call John. John was an interesting kid. He did some weird things, but was amazing at drawing. He had always talked to me and I had always tried to be nice while talking to him. He was into Five Nights at Freddy's, so were my friends and myself. I don't know what happened, but I started acting rude towards him. I wasn't very popular, nor was I considered a cool kid. But, I started acting rude. I would talk behind his back, I would say rude things to his face, and I even got some of my friends on board. I used to go to an after-school care and he had also started going there. So when that happened, I started calling him a stalker. Now there was no reason behind my behavior. He had done nothing wrong to hurt me. Maybe he was joking and said something that I took offense to. I don't know. But, it wasn't right. Now, I noticed that what I was doing was wrong during recess on a Thursday. This Thursday was the day of realization. John had come up to me, bags under his eyes swollen, and red marks around his neck. He had come to me to tell me that he had tried to kill himself. He had explained that he was being bullied by multiple people who would have been considered the cool kids. I asked him for his parents' phone number and I walked with him and supported him for the rest of the day. During the time that I was hanging out with him, I had regretted everything I said. I noticed that there was no reason for me to have talked behind his back. I felt so guilty and had realized I was just as bad as the people who had almost made him kill himself. Later at the after-school care that we both went to, I confessed. I told him everything I had said and I had said I was sorry. He looked at me with a blank face at first. Then he just smiled and said, "We all make mistakes, it's okay." Later when I was picked up, I had asked my parents to message his parents and make sure that they knew what was going on. John had been able to get therapy and also be able to stand up against the people who were bullying him. That upcoming weekend, I had actually gone over to his house for a play date. I was happy to see he was going okay and we had actually grown to be pretty good friends. We had talked and hung out for the rest of the year. In the next grade, he ended up switching schools and we stopped talking as much. Although I had confessed to him about what I had done, I still feel guilty about what I did. I'm sorry for what I said and I'm sorry for not treating you better earlier. I wish I had made better choices and I wish that everything had played out differently than it did. If you enjoy this video, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future videos, please let us know in the comments below. Turn on the notifications to know when we post new videos. Thank you for coming to the House of Reddit.